What's up, party people, ladies and gentlemen of the SFL? Welcome to the fifth edition of Axis Live. As always, I'm your host, Dave Axis, and I want to thank each and every single one of you for tuning in tonight. I know we got a scrimmage going on with Atlanta, so I appreciate you if you're splitting screens or if you're over here listening to us. I appreciate that. Go ahead and post in the chat. Let me know how I'm sounding, how it sounds on your end for me. I was having some problem with the music at first with my desktop audio. I'm hoping that's not going to be an issue with the panel tonight. Anyway, thanks for tuning in tonight. I also want to thank my producer, Fonzie. Remind all of you to direct your questions and comments during the show to him for either the guests or for myself. Also, want to throw a shout out to Eagle Mondavi for helping me get the Discord server up. I have a show Discord server that will be up and running. Hopefully by tomorrow, I will be sending out the invites to that, and that'll just give you one more area to get information, send me feedback, ideas, whatever whatever you want to do. What else we got here? Oh, I'm also going to be working on a Facebook page as well. I know probably not a lot of you are on Facebook, but some of you are. So I'm just trying to get on all the social media platforms so you guys can always get my information. Lastly, got to show some love to my sponsors, Big Boy Custom Rods, Trick Apparel, and for the time being, Armadillo Ale Works. All right, let's see who's in the chat. Art Vandelay's in the house, a Rapid Raccoon. Phoenix Jones, what's up, buddy? How you been, man? I haven't talked to you in a few days. Freddie, of course. Hugo, love to see these guys. Eagle. Oh, my wife. Look at Lisa. She loves that intro music. Hopefully the music actually was going the whole time. Let's see. Lone Star Glory. I'm assuming that's Charles, but he's on the show anyway. Twin Screw. All right, so we got a decent amount of people in here. Appreciate everybody coming in. Oh, and there's Ace. There's my quarterback coming in at the last second. So, all right, let's get this party started. I want to start off by asking all you guys a question. Very simple question. So, show of hands. How many of you have thought about owning an SFL franchise? Probably all of us at some point, I imagine. I know I have. So, if you want to know, how to go about doing that, what goes down, or if you have questions about the process, you're in luck tonight, baby, because we got all six. Actually, I think we only have five now. We are waiting on Jacob. Jacob had to work longer than he thought, so hopefully he'll be able to pop in later. But we at least right now have five of the six brand new season 15 SFL owners. So let me go through and make sure that we can hear them. Charles, we got Charles Doherty from the glorious Lone Star Glory. Charles, what's up?
What's up? How's it going?
Make sure you guys let me know if you can hear him or not. From Louisiana Revolution, we got Gerald Smith in the house.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And from who's next? Oh, from the Fort Worth Toros, we've got Stephen Hacker.
Good evening, everyone.
Also from the Fort Worth Toros, our new rival, we've got Nacho Sicario. Nacho, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And who's saying no? Phoenix is saying no. Packer's saying no. Can't hear the guests. I don't hear the panel. I was afraid of that. What's going on here? Let me see what I can do real quick. Can anybody hear him? Is anybody hearing him? No, they're saying they can't hear you. I don't know what's going on with this. Charles, Gerald, and Hacker. Yeah, they're muted, but they were talking, bro. It's not that. Hold on, everybody. Let me see what I can do here. I don't know why. Well, the desktop audio's up. Wally is also in the house. Wally, how you doing, bro? From Lone Star. Okay. Did everybody hear Wally? I'm waiting to see what they say here real quick. No, they couldn't hear you either. Very low. Well, let me turn this up. Let me do it one more time. Hey, let me run through. Just say hello. Don't say anything else. Charles, say hello.
Hello.
Gerald, say hello.
Hello.
Let's see. Hacker, Nacho, Wally, you guys all just say hello.
Hi. Hello.
So no Charles, no Gerald. What is going on here? Well, this sucks. This is not what I was looking forward to tonight. I'm sure it's got to be on my end somewhere because I can hear them fine. Let me see here. Yeah, and you know what though? For some reason, my desktop audio is not lighting up. I just noticed that. Let me see why that's not happening. Sorry everybody. This is not planned. It was all working earlier. Fine. Do. Yeah, that's it. All I have to do is chat. Let's see. You don't have to put them on the other screen, do you? No, I don't. I'm doing the show exactly like I always do it. It's the vet owners messing with us. Who said that? Charles, you said that? That's hilarious. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I just got Gerald. You just said they're perfect in Discord. You popped in and checked. I don't know, but everybody can hear me, right? But nobody could hear any of them. Well, this sucks. Let me see what I can find out here real quick. Sorry, everybody. I have no idea what's going on, what the problem is. Audio, microphone. That's good. That's good. That's good. Everything's reading that it's okay. Use device. Garal, what is that, bro? That you just sent me? Sorry, everybody. Again, I don't know what's going on. I may have to stop streaming and restart. I won't do the music again though. Yeah, thank you, Greg. I know you guys can hear me, but you guys can't hear them for some reason. Yeah, I can hear them. I can hear everybody.
Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you as well.
Okay. Go into OBS.
Yep, I'm in there.
Right where it says desktop audio.
Yep.
Right at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Click the little cog next to the speaker.
Yep.
What's that device say?
You're right. The little square to it next to the volume.
Next to the volume, you should have like a little cogwheel.
Yeah, hold on. When I click on it, a whole bunch of stuff comes up. What do you want to know?
Does it say properties for desktop audio?
It does. Properties and advanced properties. So there's properties. Use device timestamps. That's checked.
What is checked for device?
It just says default. So do I want my headphones or speakers? Fonzie sounds like he's deep in a deep pit. That's awesome. Well, let me see. Let me do that. Let me see if that makes a difference. How about now? See, because I haven't changed these though, bro. Well, it's not going to be my headphones. It wants to become from
Wherever they're going to be coming from.
Yeah, I did that. Hey, somebody that's in the Nacho or Charles or somebody, go ahead and start talking for a second.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, not a whole lot, man. Just
Wait for me to get my act together. Oh, so yeah, nothing's helping. This is weird. This is really weird. I don't know why. Oh, hold on. Somebody start talking. Somebody in the Charles or somebody start talking.
Hello. How's it going, everybody?
Oh, there we go. I think we can still. I think you can hear him now. I'm at least seeing him on the bar, at least. Yes, there we go.
Moly.
Holy smokes! All right. Are they too loud or are they good to go, you guys? Thank you for hanging in there. I see Art and everybody in there and Phoenix. Nacho was on, but
stuff
very
happens
low.
on your first time, so.
Yeah, right. Dude, you know what's weird? I've never had these problems on any of my shows. I guess I postponed it for you guys. So, anyway, I guess we'll have to figure out a way to edit all this out when I move it over to YouTube. That's for sure. Okay, so everybody can. All right, one more quick. Let's run through a quick sound check. So, Charles, go.
Good evening. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here. Gerald, go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me.
There you go. Hacker.
Hey, y'all.
Nacho.
What's up, chat?
And Wally.
I'm here.
You guys, dude, some of these comments are unbelievable. All right, you guys, I hope you were able to hear all of them, so thank God. All right, so let's just jump right into the show now. I guess I'll stop talking for a while. This question is going to be for all of you, and for those of you who have more than one owner on the show, you can split it up, or one of you can take it however you want to do it, and then I'll go to the next guy, or you can go back and forth if you want. But I'm going to start with Charles since he's at the top of the list right here. And I want to know, and I want you guys to tell the listeners, take us through your journey to becoming an SFL owner. Tell us, how your process went. Actually, even go back to when you first thought about even being an owner and owning a team in the SFL, and let us know what just tell us about your journey from when you first thought about it all the way to you found out that you got your team.
I'll hand it off to Wally.
Right
Boy, that's a lot of fun.
Right off the bat, he throws you under the bus.
Yeah, that's Charles. When I first signed with Carolina, I had no intention of following it, sort of a owner track, if you will. But as I fell in love with the game, I decided I wanted to be able to do more for the game. And it seemed at the time that ownership would be the best pathway to do so. So I tried to take advantage of the situation that we could in Seattle and move it to Denton. That's the long and short of it.
That's it?
Well, I mean, that's really what happened, right?
Charles, what do you want?
I decided I want the team, so I hooked up with Charles, and we made it happen.
All right, let's hear.
Originally, Wally and I thought we were going to have to go through the expansion process, and we did a lot of planning behind that, behind our application and how we could stand out. But Wally had some conversations with Crash, and Crash, was making some undertones that he was willing to, sell his franchise, and we thought that was something we should jump on, and one thing led to another. It took a while to go through the process, but I think in the end it worked out perfectly.
Okay, awesome. Gerald, let's go to you. What about you? From the first idea till you found out you got your team, take us through your journey.
Mine is similar, I guess, to what Charles and Wally had. I was planning on going for expansion. I had my bid all together and stuff like that, and and then I just heard through the grapevine that Aaron Arrington was possibly looking to get out of ownership with the team in New Orleans. Me being a Louisiana native, and I'm 40 miles from New Orleans, I reached out to him and see if the rumors were true, and he said yeah. And then every conversation just kind of materialized from there. And then once he was interested in doing that is when we brought the league into it to see what further steps we needed to take. And after that it was kind of smooth, and it just went up for the vote. And then after that I am where I am now.
Awesome. Well, actually, I'll ask you a follow-up question. I'm gonna ask all you guys follow-up questions in a second, but let me go to Fort Worth. Hacker and Nacho, take us through your whole process.
Well, to start with me, I coming from Queen City. I had a lot of experience coming from there, and me and Hacker came into the league not expecting, but anticipating that we will eventually own a team. Once the expansion situation ended up happening, we dove head into that while keeping our main focus on Queen City. Luckily, we had to go through a little grueling process, but luckily we ended up coming on top.
Okay, let me go back to Wally and Charles then. And along the way, did you guys hit any speed bumps, or was there ever a time you didn't think that you would actually end up getting a team?
Charles, you want to start with this one?
Yeah, there were a couple bumps in the road. I probably don't have as much time as most of the guys in this league, but on this panel. But I was a little more, I guess, seasoned in the league than Wally was. So there was some extra time needed to vet Wally, go through some questions, and it took a while. I mean, because there were other things going on in the league, and we just had to be patient. That was the hardest part, being patient and let the process work. But we eventually got there.
Okay, Wally, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I'm an incredibly patient guy, as many of you know, and it was a fun process. But that's pretty much what happened. It was grueling, it was difficult, it was frustrating, but in the end, it worked out.
Okay. Gerald, what about you, bro?
Mine, I guess, wasn't as difficult as what theirs had. Theirs was, Seattle to Lone Star Cell was a bit, it was kind of out there, right? It was pretty big news and whatever was surrounding that. I didn't have that type of thing with mine. It was just more of a, once it went through and we agreed in principle, just the nervousness of waiting and anybody who knows me, I'm not a patient guy, so I'm just was on pins and needles waiting. Hey, when's the vote happening? When the vote happening?
Right, right.
So once the vote happened and everything got through, it was it wasn't bad for me at all.
Okay. Hacker, Nacho, what about you guys?
I'll let Hacker take this one.
Yeah, I think we felt that there was a good class of potential friend or expansion owners. We felt that some of the other bids that were out there were really strong, and felt like there was a lot of competition. It wasn't in our mind a for sure thing that we were going to get a team. We were definitely sweating and waiting for that decision. But I think the key thing to take out of that is have a vision for your team and show that you're willing to put in the work and have all those things combined and make sense and put together, and you'll have a shot at it. I think I think that was a big part of our expansion bid was we felt like our brand was really sharp and was very well put together, and it made a lot of sense for where we were.
Okay, so no major speed bumps for Fort Worth. No. Was there ever a time you thought maybe you wouldn't get a team?
I mean, we were nervous. Don't get us wrong. We didn't
nervous.
expect to. I mean, there was tons of great candidates. We felt like we were just as good as anybody else, but it could have been anybody's bid.
Okay. Starting back at the top with Charles and Wally, there's a question from one of the listeners that wants to know how many times was this your first time basically that you applied to get a team, and if not, how many times did it take, or how many times did you get turned down before you got your team?
First time.
First time. Gerald, what about you? Was this your first time trying to get be an owner of an SFL franchise?
There was some stuff in season 13. Some of the more experienced owners who were owners at that time knew that situation in London. I'm not going to go into great detail, but there was a potential for ownership to change from one to another, from Liam to me, but that just it didn't happen at all. So I don't know if it was a first time actually applying. It was more of just like I don't know if you can even call it an idea, but it was something that was kind of in its infancy stage as far as transferring it over, and then it just kind of just collapsed on itself, for various reasons. But as far as going all in and everything else, and with wanting to buy New Orleans and stuff like that, I guess it can be, I guess it's a 1.5 times. I guess.
Okay. All right. Good. Good enough. Hacker, what about you, bro? Was this the first time you applied for SFL ownership?
Yeah, our first bid.
Okay. Nacho, same for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And wrapping this one up, Wally, what about you? Was this your first time?
Yes, it was.
Wow. So that's pretty impressive that almost all of you were able to accomplish that on your first bid. Let's start with Gerald on this question. So you guys talked a little bit about your journey, how you went about actually getting your team. From the time you found out you got your team to right now, how has it been going? Has it been better? Has it been worse? Was it more work? Has it been easier? Tell me what it's like now that you've had, a couple, 2-3 months, whatever it is, underneath your belt.
I'd be lying to you if I told you it wasn't stressful at times.
Right.
It can definitely weigh on you at times, having a little more than 21 other partners in there, and then the league and everybody trying to come to a common goal. But for the most part, it's been enjoyable for me. Just getting a team that I can actually call my own, and I don't even know if I even can call it my own. Everybody on my team, from the staff to everybody that we brought in, I feel like all of us have are going to have a part in the success that we're going to have in Louisiana. So, but overall, it's been it's been enjoyable, stressful at times, like I said, but it's definitely been enjoyable.
Okay. Hacker, Nacho, what about you guys?
Yeah, I think it's been rewarding for sure. There was some stuff that we didn't know what we were going to get into, but Nacho having been a GM for 3 seasons, vice president for 5, and I'm speaking for him, but me being a GM for 3 seasons, we were kind of used to some of the off season process and how contracts go together and some of those things. So the owner side there was some challenges, but it's all been exciting. Once the draft got going and free agents were signed and our locker room started getting filled, it all felt like going downhill. It didn't feel like uphill. Uphill was whenever our locker room was at 0 and all we were looking at was
Right.
a list of 100 prospects. Once we started filling our locker room and the involvement from our team and just how excited they are to be on the field really kind of lit a fire under me. Kind of motivated me to take on other things and get guys in place and let them shine and do their thing, and then me do my part as an owner to make Fort Worth shine and be the best that it can be. So it's been great. It's been really rewarding so far.
Okay, Nacho, what about you, bro? I got Steven's side of it, but what about your side? You bring your experience over from Queen City, so I don't know if that was maybe a little bit of a head start for you, but since you've actually gotten the word that you are the owner of the Fort Worth Toros, how has it been? Has it been easier, better, more stressful, less stressful? Let us kind of give us an overview.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been more work. Whenever it comes to the playbook, you want to build your team right. There's a lot of planning whenever it comes to all this. The draft was a really stressful time as well, trying to get your guy. And luckily, we had a pretty successful draft. But I mean, other than that, it's great. I love interacting with my teammates. Making sure everybody's on the same level and same page as we are, and everybody's included. And once we got Cameron Curtis and DOC, promoted Robert to VP and having Thrilliums join our front office, we're gonna let them start taking more of the responsibilities. But as of right now, we're full in, and we're trying to get everything going and making sure that we're gonna be a successful team.
Okay, awesome. Wally, how about you? I know you and Charles have very split roles. So from your side of things, how has it been for you since finding out that you actually, won the bid?
Well, I think my expectations were completely blown away by the realities of it. Everything I thought it was, pretty much it wasn't for me. The best single decision I made was, of course, partnering with Charles. That's been fantastic. Through this experience, I've been trying to develop a better balanced approach to it. I can be rather aggressive, rather impatient, and hyper capitalistic. And I have a lot of goals for us as a franchise, both within the context of the SFL, but also in esports in general. So it's been a very challenging, but mostly rewarding experience.
Okay. And then Charles, you're last on this question. How have things been for you so far?
It's been great. It's a lot of work. A lot more than I expected. A lot of work, but I just didn't know exactly what the work was going to be. I mean, I'm learning. I'm still learning this. The owners in the league have been very helpful with the questions. I have a ton of questions, but it's a great experience. We've got a great group of guys. I mean, so far it's been outstanding.
Okay, awesome. Real quick, hey Gerald, you had a question in the chat. The Rapid Raccoon wants to know, what does Jeff actually do?
Jeff is really good with player recruitment. He's actually pretty good. I mean, he reached out to a ton of rookies and stuff like that. And I know, Prococo and Jeff have an interesting relationship just from the whole recruitment process of him, and maybe getting drafted him and stuff like that. I know he's in Vancouver. He just him and Jeff, just from our conversations, all three of us together in group, he just him and Jeff have a very interesting relationship.
I bet. Okay. Hacker, starting with you. kind of following up on the question I just asked, let us know what has been the biggest shock or surprise or obstacle you've had since becoming an owner.
Biggest shock, surprise.
Or
You know,
obstacle.
I'm waiting. And again, I think I've been around, and you know, I hate to say that I know how things go, but I'm prepared. I think, and nothing this off season at least has been anything that has shaken my core or anything. So I've nothing yet.
So lots of work, but easy sailing.
Again, you know, lots of time. This is my second home, man. I spend when I'm not working. This is what I do. So I just if I'm not scouting, I'm researching for a broadcast. If I'm not broadcasting, I'm talking to somebody about weekly progressions. I mean, it's just kind of
Right.
what I do. It's kind of second nature, and it feels like at this point. So when changes come, I just look at it and I just say, okay, well, how does that affect what I already know how to do? So
Okay.
nothing really shocking, I guess.
Okay. All
We're,
right.
we're definitely used to rolling with the punches, especially just being around so long, and yeah, it's just working hard, man. So that's all you got to do.
Yeah, but but
Everything else.
Nacho, let me ask you this though. Yeah. You've been
Go
a
ahead.
GM for a long time. You were VP over at Queen City, but being an owner it has to have some different challenges than those jobs.
I mean, yeah, my main concern is giving our team a quality product. I want to make sure that everybody is happy being a Toro. That's what stresses me the most.
Is
So that's
keeping your own players happy?
right. So even if I definitely want to win. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's all about the player experience.
What was the last part? You went out for a second.
Sorry, the player experience to me.
Okay. All right. Who's next? Wally. What about you, bro? You are you there? Are you unmuted?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's been the biggest shock or surprise or obstacle you've had to deal with since being an owner?
I think I didn't properly understand the culture of the league, both in terms of how ownership approaches things, how the league approaches things,
Mm-hmm.
and how that all meshes in terms of with the bigger picture of trying to drive such a wonderful experience forward and get a wider audience. I clearly underestimated many aspects of the league.
Can you give us an example of one, maybe? I hate to put
think
you on the spot. But...
Well, I think it's difficult. I think when this league started, it was obviously purely a fun experience, right? It was just something people did for fun and to fill out the time. But the league has grown to the point where it's crossing a threshold from just being a hobby to actually being something more. And being something more means being both a hobby and enhancing player experience. But there's every reason that this league should be profitable, that the team should be profitable, and quite frankly, the players should be profitable. And I think that's a transition that's difficult for a lot of people to make.
Okay. That's a great answer. Charles, what about you, bro? Biggest shock, surprise, or obstacle?
I'm just learning something new every day. I know I said that on my last response, but there is a lot of information to digest as an owner. And I mean, it's like you read it once and you think you understand it, and then you talk to somebody else and they say, no, it's really like this. Wait a minute. But I mean, I just got I got a lot to learn. I think that I got a great staff of people with me, and I think one of the keys is getting the right people in with you and delegating accordingly. Because I don't see how an owner can do it all on their own.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's actually another. We're going to touch that topic later in the show. Who do I have left? Gerald. Gerald, what about you, bro? Biggest shock, surprise, obstacle, something like that.
I don't know if it's any shocks or surprises, but I mean, one of the biggest, obstacles, and Charles kind of touched on it right there at the end. just everything that just goes on from a ownership standpoint. You have to make sure that you have your staff in place to be able to help you out, because there's impossible, especially now with the way the league has grown and what's expected of each team, each owner, each staff. That it's a whole lot for just one guy to handle. I mean, if any owner in this league is doing all that by themselves, I mean, they got to be Superman or something, because
Right.
a guy like me who just is very used to just taking the reins of something and kind of driving it through, and trying to be as successful as I can. And this was an attempt for me to try that, and I'm like, yeah, that's not working. We need staff member, we need help on this end of it, to help alleviate, especially all the stuff that goes into being an owner. I mean, it's like Charles said too, it's a lot of stuff. You got to go through, and then and then when you get new guys on your team and staff members, and you have to teach them and show them what's going on with stuff to make sure that they're compliant on everything that that their job duties entail. So no real surprises, shocks, or nothing like that. Just it was, I guess it's somewhat expected, but I guess mildly surprising, I guess,
Right.
as to how much work goes into it.
Okay, let me. We're gonna get to Gunny in a moment, but I want to ask everybody one more question before we get to Gunny, and it's kind of quick, and so we'll go through it. But it's kind of following up on what what we talked about earlier. Give everybody, and Gerald, start with you. Just give everybody kind of your background in the SFL. Just how long have you been here, and other positions like front office positions you've held before this season.
I came in season 11, right at the tail end of the off season. And back then, when chat rank was a thing, right? When you had the value of your player was, there was no check-ins or nothing. It was all about chat rank, So you had to out chat some everybody else and
Right.
all the other people in there to make yourself valuable. And I was, kind of interested in having a player, but I was more interested in the coaching side of it. All Pro was a game I played when it came out, loved it, and even still played it. I just thought I was one of the only dudes that still played it. So having to find a league, in the off season between season 10 and season 11, joined up, and I actually had an opportunity with Slim Shady in London, Slim Shady and Liam to join their team as a staff. So I actually, like I said, coaching was something I wanted to pursue. So I actually took myself out of the draft and started on the on the coaching path, and ended up creating me a player, which is Nathan Blake, named after my two sons.
Mm-hmm.
And then just progressed from there. Season 11 went by, and I guess I proved my worth. And then Liam promoted me to head coach for season 12, season 13. And then I had some say in in player recruitment, getting players over there, and stuff like that. And then last season I went to St. Louis and was head coach and general manager, and was able to be successful there. And I was just fortunate enough that not that it kind of fell in my lap with the way the New Orleans acquisition happened, but I was real fortunate that I was able to catch a good break, shall I say, with being able to purchase New Orleans and keep the team in Louisiana.
Okay. Let's see, Hacker. What about you? What season did you start the SFL, and what other front office positions did you hold?
So I joined in season 10 as that Castle, a linebacker, and then rebranded in the off season of season 12, which is when I became the rookie wide receiver Stephen Hacker. And then I've held front office positions, I guess. So coaching, I've done defensive coordinator, and then general manager.
Okay.
And I guess director of communications, I guess.
Okay. All right, Nacho. What about you, bro?
I also joined in season 10. Became strong safety Nacho from there for Queen City, and shortly after that became the general manager in season 10. And then I became vice president in season 13. That's whenever Hacker joined up, and we made him our GM, and he became our D coordinator as well. I've had my hand in the playbook since season 12. Whenever it comes to the offense, Eric was a very hands-on guy, so we just kind of just put my hand in there just to help him out. Hacker also does a lot of league stuff whenever it comes to broadcasting and stats and all that stuff, so he does tons of work as well.
Okay. All right, Wally, what about you? When did you first come in the league, and did you hold any front office positions before this season?
Well, compared to the rest of my colleagues on the panel, I have the most extensive and thorough background in the league. I was a kicker for the Skyhawks last season.
That is amazing.
I know.
All the way from there to here.
It's important. Kickers are people too.
I keep hearing that. I don't know if it's true, but I keep hearing it. Charles, what about you, bro? I know that you did some stuff with Vancouver. What season did you start? I think you started with Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I started out in season 12. I was an undrafted rookie. Had a cornerback. I played there for a season. Then I retired. That cornerback put a rookie halfback in the rookie pool. Was drafted by Vancouver. Started out as a scout, and then defensive coordinator and general manager.
Okay. Yeah, so as the audience can hear, we have everybody going back as far as 5 seasons all the way up till last season, and everybody from no front office experience all the way up to front office experience and league experience. So anybody who's thinking about applying, which I believe the due date is next Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, or is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. Don't let anything deter you. If you have a good idea, put it on paper, send it to the league, and see what happens. Gunny, good old Gunny, are you about ready yet? I see that you're still muted, but I think if you are good to go, then I will be good to go if you give me the heads up.
The heads up is ready.
All right, go ahead, do your thing.
All right. Good evening, SFL. If you ever consider becoming an owner or how to pursue an expansion bid, reach out to these guys on the panel tonight. If you are prior military, DM me your branch of service. My goal is to keep a logbook of all our military personnel in the SFL. This being said, one day I want to give the commissioner an idea of a military bowl to be played sometime around Veterans Day. 10 days until opening kickoff when we hear Cameron Irvin's call of kick it. That is all. Carry on with the plan of the day.
Awesome, Gunny. Thank you so much. I love having you on the show, bro. You know what? You make this so much more fun. You really do. As Gunny was doing his thing, I happened to see that Cameron Irvine, the commissioner of the SFL, has some questions for our panel. He has a few of them, but I think the most interesting one, let's see. I think, Cam, I like your, where is it at? I think he asked, here you go. He wants to know from all of you, what's the biggest challenge working with Cameron Irvine? And I will extend that out to even to say, and or the league. And I'm hoping he's looking for positive feedback here, but let's see. Nacho, I'm going to be starting with you. I think it's your turn in the rotation. So what is the biggest challenge working with Cam and or the league?
I mean,
as an owner,
I'm
assuming he means as an owner. Go ahead.
I really don't have too many challenges. Cameron's pretty understanding. He does very good job. The league does its job whenever it comes to, following what Cameron says, so it's really not too bad.
Okay.
Everybody can complain, I guess, but who can't? What can you do?
Okay, so Cam, I guess Nacho says you're pretty perfect at your job, bro. I wonder if he was.
I said perfect. Don't put words in my mouth.
He just said ugh. All right, Wally, what about you? What's been your biggest challenge with dealing with either with Cam or the league? And you know what? You guys could throw Andrew in there, or throw Mark Hurwitz, or anybody else that may, anything that may have been an issue with the league being an owner.
Wow. I would have to say, first of all, I think Cam does do a terrific job of running the league. Cam and I have I would say sometimes a stressful relationship. We both want the best for the league. Sometimes the vision, sometimes it bounces around in perhaps not the most flattering of ways for either one of us. And I enjoy working with him. I think I frustrate him. I think he probably frustrates me as well. And it's going to take some time to really get the best out of each other. But I think that's what's great about the relationships, right? It's easy to talk about the good things,
Right.
but sometimes it's best to you have a good relationship when you can screw with someone a little bit, and sometimes it's even a little bit mean,
Right.
and a little bit frustrating. And I think that we're both competitive people, and I think that could be a good driver for both of us going forward. But it's yeah, I think it comes down to the worst part of Cam for me is just it's how we look at the world, and it's just very different. And I think that's a good thing in the end.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I love the fact that people, whether they're in business or relationships or whatever, you know what, you can be honest and you can, be forthright and really talk about the hard things. But then at the end of the day, you're still friends. You still have that relationship going.
And we do. I mean, but we do drive each other probably, definitely some Malox moments for both of us.
Okay, awesome. All right, Charles, what about you? Cam or the league? Anybody in the league personnel?
So from a Cam standpoint, I had the honor of doing broadcasts with him, but he's got this giant dog, this Great Pyrenees, that has a habit of licking you while you're on air. So,
Is that
but Cam has mountain fresh spring water at his house, so that's always delightful. No, it's great dealing with Cam. The only thing is, his bandwidth is he's pulled in every different direction. I think him making the decision to focus on this full time, having the ability to do that, I think is going to be we're gonna really see it this season. I just the fear I have is with the league is. I kind of think that we're at the crest of a wave from an business opportunity standpoint. I just hope that we are agile enough as a league to be able to make course adjustments to make the best out of the opportunity.
okay? Good answer, Gerald. What about you, bro? What's been your biggest issue or problem, however you want to label it, challenge with dealing with either Cam or the league?
In any professional relationship, partnership or whatever, it's going to have its ups and downs. It's just everybody that's in the league definitely has a mindset to be successful. So when you have a guy like myself who is pretty ambitious, and like I said, if anybody knows me, knows I'm a pretty impatient guy. I expect things to happen yesterday, even though we all know that's not possible. So it's just it's things like that, right? That I think are good and bad in a sense. That we have situations where, hey, I may think things need to go one way. The league, or the majority says, hey, we need to go on another. It's not anything that we really see eye to eye on at times, and no specific situation really, that I'm pointing at, but just making a generalization about it that, just guys wanting to be successful in what they do. It's gonna have like some struggles in their relationship and stuff like that. And like you guys said, that after all that, even though you have a little spat or whatever, I mean, at the end of the day, we all have the the same common goal in mind. It's just growing it bigger, larger, better, and all that stuff. So, but as far as it being any super duper difficult things, no, Cam is usually pretty receptive to hearing you out, at least. I mean, he's not a guy that just shuts the door on you. A guy who seems always available is Marcus and Andrew Rastelli. I feel like if I message Rastelli at 3:00 in the morning, he's gonna message me back.
Right.
So, and he's super quick with responses too. So, but as far as that, I mean, I don't, all professional relationships are going to have some struggles, just the, the growing pains of it all. But overall, nothing, from a league standpoint, at this point, it's just, a bad thing.
Right. Okay. Hacker, what about you? I know you've probably worked with Cam a little closer on broadcasts like Charles did in doing stats and things like that. But now as an owner, biggest challenge working with him or the league?
Well, I guess I'll start. I'll say that he was 10 minutes late to a scheduled meeting.
Damn him.
I know.
20
minutes late. Thank you.
Oh, now
20
Nacho
minutes
wants to
late.
speak up.
I know. And I was surprised because I was like, oh, he started with Nacho. He's gonna unload on him and then pass. So I was like, okay, well, I'll bring it up. So he was late to a meeting. I didn't appreciate that, but in his defense, he did let me know like 2 hours ahead of time that there was a possibility he would be late. But overall, I think everybody hit the key note. For the most part, he's hungry to always improve or be better. So I think that's something that's a compliment. Be on time. When I schedule a meeting with you, whenever you force me to schedule a meeting with you, be on time.
There you go. Let's see what he has. I teach owners patience all the time. LOL. That's what his response in the chat. That's hilarious. All right. Nacho, did you want to maybe have another answer before I move on to the next question?
No, man. I feel the same way. I have no complaints.
Okay.
It's just simple enough. I know he's a really busy guy. He's dealing with all kinds of stuff, and it's just he don't need more shit.
Right. I get it. Okay.
Yes, he does. He asked for it. He asked for it.
He'll get he'll get shit tomorrow morning in owner's chat. In owner's channel, and
AM, and you're gonna DM it to him. That's what you're gonna do.
Oh. All right.
I'm going back to you. I'm sorry.
I don't know. You know what? Sometimes we get into these questions and people have different opinions that are strong. I think I might have to start doing an Access After Dark or an Access After the Show thing where we can be in addition to being unscripted, unfiltered, and unedited. Maybe we'll be uncensored. So I don't know. I think I might have. I'm gonna have Hacker and Nacho on the first show of that. All right. All right. We're gonna start. Actually, I'm Nacho. Since I'm with you, I'm just gonna start with you. Do you guys, as Fort Worth, have any gear yet? If you do, can you give us a few examples of it? If you don't, can you let us know when it's coming?
We have the store set up. We've bought it already. We bought it in May, and we received our samples on Friday. So we started working on those, going back and forth on getting different designs. And I think today or just about an hour ago, we turned in the email to try to get that finalized and go from there. I'm not really sure how long it's going to take from here.
Okay.
But I would expect it to be a speedier process from now.
Okay. Real quick, just to let everybody know, we're at about 50 minutes or so. So after this question, I'm going to have one more question, then we'll wrap it up. I always try to stay around an hour if at all possible. Wally, what about Lone Star? Does Lone Star have any gear out yet?
Absolutely. We certainly have the store open, but I'll turn the floor to my partner Charles, who did all the hard work on it.
Okay.
Well, we bought the store in May, and we have product out there for sale. We don't have everything. I think COVID has made an impact on Sector 6. But we were told that Fort Worth was behind us in the hurry up, so we took our time and we made sure we went over every piece of gear and made sure it was perfect.
So now we know why Fort Worth is behind the
Of course. So I'm discussing deal.
That's awesome. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I skipped Hacker, I think. Hacker, did you have anything to add to what Nacho said for the gear?
No, we're ready for our shop to go.
Okay, awesome. And then Gerald, do you guys have gear yet? And if
no, we don't. And now I know why the hell mine's taking so damn long, because Charles is holding up everybody. Thanks, Charles. No, we have our stuff in the works. It's a, like I said, man, I'm just not a patient guy. Hopefully things get going pretty good. I just got word today that somebody's working on our design, and we hope to have something to us this week. Hopefully, just the time that's put in and stuff like that. And I get that they're are what they are, and I don't know, they're the way their business works and stuff like that. But I do wish it was a little bit quicker. I'll lay off of Sector 6 this season now with the news that Charles is behind all the holdups. So.
Well, let me ask you that. Let me ask you this, and I'll ask the other guys the same thing. What's been the turnaround time for getting from the time you and this is more, I want the listeners to hear it too. So as they think about owning a team, it's something they might keep in mind, or applying for a team. I mean, is once you start the process, what's the turnaround time to get your store open normally?
Well, May. I mean, I started mine in May, and what's it now?
So
July.
July. So 2 months for Charles.
Yeah, almost exactly 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably be on the same timeline.
Is that,
Yeah,
okay.
But some of that was us wanting to do redesigns. That's not all.
Well, I'm sure Lone Star did redesigns.
Right.
Yeah, we
Those are
did.
some nice ass. That's some nice ass gear.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, bro.
But
Thank
that's
you.
not
So,
Sector 6
you're kinda
6's fault
highlighting
that
an
we
important-
wanted to
Oh, sorry.
redesign stuff. I mean, that's not their fault. That's us asking them to rework.
Well, at the same time, there should be multiple designers working on multiple things. I don't know.
Right.
I don't think it's that difficult. But I'm also not a designer, so.
So, but so far we're about 2 months. Charles, what were you going to say before I go back to Gerald?
So we're kind of bouncing around a topic that prospective owners need to know, that you do have to have a little bit of finances to become an owner, because all this stuff costs money. You're not going to be walking in and they're not handing you a Sector 6 store.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay, that's good to know. And if we get to that point, then I'm sure there's some kind of breakdown on how much that costs, based on what kind of gear you want or how much gear you want, something like that. Is that how that
Well,
works?
there's fees. There's fees for that. There's fees associated with being an owner. So it's not like and it's a little bit more than the subscription cost. Let's just say that.
Okay, awesome. Gerald, let me let you finish up. What's been your turnaround time so far? It sounds like yours is taking a little longer than everyone else's.
Yeah, I mean, it was the discussion we had with him early on. It was like 3 to 7 days is what he said. I thought it was kind of odd, and we made sure that we reiterated, hey, 3 to 7 days, yeah. I'm like, all right. So, and it just kind of just lingered on, and then a couple messages back and forth, and just kind of just kind of got a little bit lost in the stuff. And it is frustrating, when you're trying to get your product out. When your team is asking for for something. So it is frustrating, and like Nacho said, just like today, right? Like I had a email conversation with him, and I was like, hey, look, man, I said, can you just show me something, right, just to put my mind at ease? And and he was like, hey, hey, I'm not the designer. He's like, your designer's in Spain. I'm like, oh man, I don't know what I thought
in Spain.
Yeah. So I thought it was a situation where, hey man, he can just walk down and walk down to the cubicle and say, hey man, you working on this guy design, just give me something to show him. But I was like, and I didn't know what to say there, so I just didn't respond to it. So I'm just like, all right. It's just one of those crazy things, I guess we think we know how they work, and we don't, right? Because we're not in the apparel making business at all. And maybe to some extent, like I said, me being an impatient guy doesn't help my situation either. So, dealing with my frustrations with it, but, and they have their process,
right, right.
And it's working for them. It's just a long wait times for stuff, which seems to be, not only our league, that has to deal with it, and guys who buy the stores. It seems like it's, for the majority of people who buys, who starts a store with them. So I don't think it's just isolated for us. I just think it's maybe, and I don't know if COVID's a thing or, I didn't have any interactions with them before that, so I can't speak to that. Maybe that's why they fell behind. I have no idea.
Okay.
But I'm to some extent I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, seeing how the way the world is at the moment, coming off of COVID and all that other stuff. So I'm trying to keep my emotions in check and just Try and be patient.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, and then so I think basically the lesson is to anybody who wants to apply for an SFL expansion team in the future or purchase an existing one, if you don't already have the Sector 6 store, is start early. Start early so you allow a lot of lead time for that. We are coming up on an hour already, gentlemen, and it's amazing how fast this always goes. So, last question of the night. I'm going to ask each and every one of you because I would like your take on each one. For people out there listening who could be or might be or just thinking about being potential SFL ownership applicants, what is the biggest piece of advice you can give them? And I will start with Wally.
Well, thank you for that.
I always love putting you on the spot, bro.
Yeah, that was great. I'm grateful. I guess I would say dream hard, work hard, and don't be afraid to move the status quo. Evolution is a good thing. This is a great group of people. They're great experiences to be had, but just work at it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Charles, what about you?
Dear Lord, that was like my high school counselor talking. No, that was great, Wally. So I got to follow that up. I would just say I would take a look at what teams in the league you really like as far as how they run their ship, and reach out to the owners, reach out to the leadership on the team, and get to know them and ask them a bunch of questions and let them know that what your goals are. And that's kind of what I did, and I got some great advice. And it helped me out a lot. So I would suggest that you do that.
Okay, awesome. Let's see. Gerald, what about you? What advice do you have to potential owner applicants listening tonight?
They can just take the Wally track, man. Be a kicker in Carolina and then get your team. No, on a serious note, I think everybody here, even Jacob, who wasn't able to make it this evening, have I think a lot of the owners take having some coaching experience as something that's really high on their list for somebody that they want to be partners with in ownership. Because I think the majority of owners want somebody who's going to come in and be competitive, right?
Right.
Have a competitive team. So and there's quite a few owners out there that look, Jacob, from what he did just in like 3/4 of a season, almost a full season, and he got awarded a franchise. I mean, he's a great guy, and he did some good things in Denver. Steven and Nacho, I mean, them having front office experience and being coaches together. I mean, they were just in my mind, with guys that just couldn't be denied, with an expansion bid. So, I felt like had I went the expansion route, that I may have had a decent chance just from my coaching experience, and I helped some teams get some wins and stuff like that. So, and just being involved if you can on the league level, right, to show that you're committed. Like me, I do stats. Steven does stats. And stuff like that, so that you're committed to the league, that you're not going anywhere. It may take you a little bit to eventually get to where you're at, but eventually, if you're pretty successful and you're positive, and your outlook on the league, and and how you interact with people, eventually your time will come and you'll be rewarded.
Yeah, that's to one of your points. This Thursday, so 2 days from today, we're going to continue Owners Week here on the show, and we're going to have, I think it's about 6 or 7 seasoned owners coming on the show. And I noticed that my old boss, Mark, just jumped into the chat. So welcome, Mark. Hope you guys had a good game. And one of the things I'm going to be asking them on Thursday is about why is coaching experience for owners so important when, if you want to compare it to, like, let's say the NFL. There's no owners down on the field coaching. So I want to get their take on Thursday on why is coaching experience so heavily weighted when applying for a team. So thanks for bringing that up, Gerald. Hacker, you are up next, buddy. What advice do you have for those listening that may want to apply for SFL ownership in the future?
I think Gerald highlighted a lot of really good points. Really, it's just show your commitment, show you're willing to learn the game and how it operates, and how the progression system works. I mean, understand the rule book and kind of uh, how that works for your season and or for your team. And I think that once you kind of show the knowledge of how to understand the rules and what the league is going for and how all those things kind of operate, working hand in hand, I think you're in a good position to be a candidate for ownership. And again, I think a big part of that is having a vision. Um, a lot of these teams are looking for ways to get integrated in their communities, not just necessarily have a team on Twitch every week. They're looking for ways to expand and have a big fan base, and so it's bigger than just the football team on the field. You see teams going after sponsorships and stuff like that. So it's a big part of your team, of your brand. Yeah, it's what you put on the field, but also having the vision to be able to attract a fan base and a following is also really important. I think in your bid. So I think that's something that owners, our future owners, are going to need to take into consideration.
Awesome. Okay, Nacho, you've got the last word on this topic and for the night, bro. What do you got for the crowd here?
Oh man, everybody pretty much hit everything. Every single piece of this is important. It's mainly knowing your role, getting really good at it, and moving on to the next thing. Don't overwhelm yourself, because there's a lot of people that come into the league and they take on too much, and then they don't want to do it anymore. So you have to be careful on that end as well. Attaching yourself to good people, making sure you're the owners are going to vote for you, so you have to make sure that you have a good relationship with these owners and making sure that everybody is in good standing with you.
Right. Okay. Is that it?
I mean, there's not much else to say. Everybody pretty much covered everything. It's work hard, man. That's all you got to do.
Okay. Also,
I wanted to take a stab at that other question you were going to ask some of the other ones, the owners next week.
Oh, you know what? You know what? That get in the chat, get in the chat on Thursday, bro, and
okay,
and throw your 2 cents out, because
cool.
I actually have a different take on it as well, so it'll be interesting. And if we had some time left, I'd probably let you do it anyway. But I try not to keep people too much over an hour, just because I know people have lives and they need to get back to doing other things. So with that being said, let me wrap this up. Let me thank the panel, Charles, Gerald, Hacker, Nacho, Wally, and of course always Gunny and his pearls of wisdom. Thank you to all the listeners. Sorry for the trouble at the beginning. Hopefully that is a non-issue in the future, but if it is, at least I know how to fix it now. Again, thank you to my sponsors, Trick Apparel, Bad Boy Custom Rods, and for the time being, Armadillo Ale Works. Thank you, Fonzie, for taking people's questions and helping me produce this show. Thanks again to Eagle Mondavi for helping me out with the Access Live Discord server that hopefully will be up and running, and invites going out tomorrow, which will help keep you more informed on things coming up on the show. Also, one thing I want to throw out there, I don't know if you've seen it, but Chad Rowland from Baltimore, the GM over at Baltimore, that dude has a little baseball league called Big Head Baseball. It's so fun to watch. I watched opening day yesterday, and it's amazing. So if you get a chance, take a peek at that or hit Chad up. Also, Johnny Pickler has started up an SFL Survivor Pool. There's a whole server set up for that. So if you're interested in getting in the Survivor Pool, reach out to Johnny. Don't forget, Thursday, same time, 9 p.m., right here on Twitch. We're going to have a bunch of seasoned owners, including my former owner from Atlanta who's in the chat this evening. So look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Have a glorious evening, and I will see you at the tees.